These men, whose feet were covered in fresh blood, were struggling to walk toward the bathroom. However, what awaited them was a bath filled with alcohol. For the new recruits who had just run 10 kilometers, this was nothing short of cruel torture. Not long ago, these new recruits had just joined the special forces. The chief instructor had them run 10 kilometers back to the camp. They thought it would be an easy test, but little did they know that the road was full of small stones. Not only did they have to endure the pain of the stones piercing their feet, but they also had to constantly dodge bombs that suddenly appeared around them. Just as they were about to reach the camp, the chief instructor set fire in front of them. The chief instructor stated that this was their first test to enter the special forces. They needed to find a way to get through the firewall. It was a test of their courage and determination. So the new recruits gathered their courage and jumped over. Those who didn't have the courage to cross the firewall were eliminated. The new recruits thought the test was over after the first day, but when they entered the bathroom, they realized the real test had just begun. The instructor ordered them to soak in the alcohol pool for 5 minutes, but the pain from the alcohol touching their wounds was unbearable. However, all these new recruits were in the Special Forces Reserve Team, and this was one of the tests they had to endure. The first new recruit tried it, but the moment his wounds touched the alcohol, the pain flooded his body. He gritted his teeth and didn't make a sound. This scene earned the instructor's praise. Another recruit attempted, but the pain immediately contorted his face. Seeing this, the others didn't dare to try easily. At this moment, one recruit screamed and shouted to encourage himself. When he touched the alcohol, he let out a loud scream, but he still endured the pain and stepped into the bath. Everyone knew that if they didn't want to be eliminated, they had no choice but to face the challenge. So the remaining recruits slowly stepped into the bath. The whole bathroom was filled with cries of agony. At that point, another recruit, afraid, didn't dare to try. The instructor immediately announced his elimination. However, the recruit wasn't about to give up. Just as he was about to try, the instructor kicked him into the pool. The instructor then started the 5-minute timer. The recruits all endured the pain in silence. As time passed, they successfully passed the test. Soon, they changed into their clothes and appeared on the training field. The chief instructor wasn't satisfied with their performance. He decided to start with their physical training. He ordered them all to lie on the ground and do abdominal exercises, continuing from day to night. Everyone was exhausted, completely worn out. They didn't know how much time had passed, but the recruits eventually fainted from fatigue. The instructor immediately grabbed a weapon and woke them all up. Just as the recruits were about to return to the dormitory to rest, the instructor barged in again with a gun, fired a shot, and woke them up once more. What kind of cruel training would the recruits face next?